2012. I'm Dr. Brian Lanier, Associate Professor of Music in the Department of Fine and Performing Arts. The candidates for graduation will enter the arena soon, but I first would like to introduce our musicians for this evening. You have been listening to the Bell Tower Brass Quintet with Dr. William Richardson and Ms. Amanda Sutton on trumpet, Mr. Veter Ransom on trombone, Dr. Elizabeth Dunning on horn, and Dr. Kendall Prinz on tuba. Ladies and gentlemen, the Bell Tower Brass Quintet. Please allow me to make a couple of announcements before the ceremony begins. Out of respect for our graduates, we ask that you please silence all cell phones. For the candidates to safely proceed to and exit from the stage, we ask that you not take photographs in the area in front of the stage. We thank you in advance for your cooperation. Please stand for the presentation of the flags. Members of the Northwest ROTC present today's Honor Guard. International students who represent their classmates carry the flags of their countries. They're led by Dr. Jeffrey Foote, Director of the Department of International Affairs and the English as a Second Language program. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the platform party for this evening's ceremony. The platform is led by Grand Marshal Dr. Phil Healer, Professor of Computer Sciences in the Department of Mathematics, Computer Science, and Information Services. The Northwest banner is being carried by the Student Senate President, Riley Zemer. Please welcome the faculty of Northwest Missouri State University. Assisting our faculty is Faculty Marshal Dr. Richard Field, Associate Professor of Philosophy. Northwest Missouri State University proudly presents the candidates for degrees from the College of Arts and Sciences. The College of Arts and Sciences includes the following academic departments: English and Modern Languages, Fine and Performing Arts, Humanities and Social Sciences, Mathematics, Computer Science and Information Systems, and Natural Sciences. Graduates are escorted by Honor Banner Carrier Vittoria Paolillo. Northwest Missouri State University proudly presents the candidates for degrees from the Melvin D. and Valerie G. Booth College of Business and Professional Studies. The Booth College includes the following academic departments: Business, Agricultural Sciences, Communication and Mass Media. Graduates are escorted by Honor Banner Carrier Krista Townsend. Please welcome the candidates for degrees from the College of Education and Human Services. The College of Education and Human Services includes the following academic departments: Professional Education, Family and Consumer Sciences, Health and Human Services, Behavioral Sciences. Candidates are escorted by Honor Banner Carrier Caitlin Presnell. please welcome the candidates for degrees from the Graduate School. Northwest confers the following graduate degrees: Master of Science, Master of Arts, Master of Business Administration, Master of Science in Education, and Specialist in Education. Graduates are escorted by Honor Banner Carrier Taryn Hill. Please remain standing, face the flag on the stage, and join me in singing our national anthem. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave? Please be seated. Now please welcome the President of Northwest Missouri State University, Dr. John Jasinski.
Good evening. It is my great honor as president of Northwest Missouri State University to welcome you to the summer commencement exercises honoring you, the graduating class of 2012. Give yourselves a round of applause right now. I offer very warm Bearcat greetings to all family and friends, Northwest faculty and staff, our platform guests, and our commencement speaker, Mr. David Davenport. Graduates, today is about you. A total of 241 candidates will receive degrees in the summer 2012 graduating class. I think you'll enjoy the following information we've compiled about your class. We have 128 female graduates, 113 male. You range in age from 21 to 64. The top 3 undergraduate majors in the summer class of 2012 include business management, recreation, corporate recreation and wellness, as well as nursing. The top graduate degree in the summer class of 2012 is the Master of Business Administration. There are 128 undergraduate degree candidates, 106 graduate degree candidates, and 7 specialists in education degrees. 161 of you are Missouri residents. International students from 3 different countries are represented in our graduating class, including India, China, and Morocco. But the class of 2012 is definitely not just about a number. Each of you, as individuals, has accomplished great things in your years at Northwest. We hear about the personal stories, courage, persistence, success. And many of you are the first family members to obtain a college education. Many of you have sacrificed a great deal along the way. But each of you sitting before us this evening is an example of the perseverance, the collaboration, the citizenship, and the hard work that we value here at Northwest Missouri State University. These are the types of skills that served you well in the classroom, outside the classroom, and they surely will be invaluable in the workplace and in your personal lives. I would personally like to recognize the few special graduates. Amaya Chandler, Lisa Crater, and Anthony Williams are all Northwest employees who sit among you tonight as fellow graduates. One in particular, Lisa Crater, and I saw her come over somewhere. Lisa, will you stand up just for a minute? Yeah. Lisa's been employed here at Northwest since October of 1990, and she began her education journey here at Northwest in 1992. And tonight, after 20 short but perhaps long years, Lisa receives her Bachelor of Science degree. That's perseverance, folks. You all have accomplished so much, but let's keep in mind this ceremony is called a commencement because we celebrate not only a chapter in your life that will culminate this evening, but also what is to begin today and what you will accomplish in the years ahead. Class of 2012, this is the day you celebrate one of life's absolutely most important achievements, completing a college degree. You've worked hard, but of course along the way, you've had the help and support of people who are very proud of you, your moms, your dads, grandparents, brothers, sisters, aunts, uncles, friends, and neighbors, many of whom are here in the crowd tonight. Graduates, please let us thank your loved ones. And of course, another group that has supported you each and every day is our faculty and staff. Throughout your time here, they've not only instructed and advised, they've supported you, they've cheered for you. The faculty and staff who are committed to focusing on you and your success each and every day, sharing your accomplishments, and I would deem them the hardest working faculty around, period, and the staff. Please, let's thank our faculty and staff. And we're fortunate to have a member of the Board of Regents with us today. The board is made up of 9 individuals appointed by the Governor of Missouri to direct Northwest policies and oversee its operation. Our board member with us this evening is Regent Doug Sutton of Maryville. Doug? And of course, we have a very special guest with us, a friend of Northwest, and we have in the script each and every time he comes to commencement a champion of education. But I'll tell you what, ladies and gentlemen, he's a champion of Northwest. He's a champion of the Northwest Missouri region. He's definitely a champion of education, but he's a leader in our state. Representative Mike Thompson. And also behind me, I'd like you to thank members of our platform party, our senior leaders from the Northwest Leadership Team, the Dean's Council, our registrar, and faculty student senate presidents. Thank you all for the work that you do. It is now my pleasure to introduce tonight's commencement speaker. David Davenport began his tenure as Chief Executive Officer of Second Harvest Community Food Bank in March 2011, just a little over a year ago. Since his arrival, Second Harvest has expanded its distribution of emergency food and programs, serving over 13,000 children, seniors, and individuals per week throughout the organization's 19-county service territory. Earlier this year, Second Harvest launched its innovative Close the Gap program, which quickly became the model for similar nutrition assistance programs in Missouri and across the Midwest. This fall, Second Harvest will open Fresh Start, a one-of-a-kind nonprofit grocery store experience combining purchased food opportunities with the emergency food services of a traditional pantry. David was born in Baltimore, Maryland, began his social sector career shortly after graduating from Texas A&M University in 1988. His 11-year career with the YMCA included international service in Japan, Mexico, and Brazil. David began his hunger relief work in 2004 when he was recruited to serve as executive director of End Hunger Network in Houston. He later became the CEO of the Capital Area Food Bank in Austin, Texas, growing a $26 million organization to a budget size of more than $50 million and nearly doubling distribution in just his first 2 years of service. David earned the prestigious title of Certified Fundraising Executive in 2011 after securing more than $120 million in charitable contributions during his career and meeting the requirements of ethical management and donor stewardship needed to obtain this international recognition. He currently serves on the board of directors for the Missouri Food Bank Association, as well as the former Students Advisory Board for the Department of Political Science at Texas A&M, where he also served as a frequent lecturer at the George H.W. Bush Graduate School of Government and Public Service. David is a bilateral lung transplant survivor, an amazing story in and of itself. He's a staunch advocate for organ donation. He's got a great family, many of whom are here tonight. Ginger, Brandon, Danielle, and Lauren, thank you and welcome this evening. Ladies and gentlemen, help me offer a warm Bearcat greeting to Mr. David Davenport.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Dr. Jasinski, members of the Board of Regents, faculty, staff, families, distinguished guests, and class of 2012. Thank you for this opportunity to visit with you during this important time in the academic life of the class of 2012 and this wonderful institution. As I was preparing my remarks, I wondered what it would be like to be introduced not by my personal and professional accomplishments, but by my failures. The times I stubbed my toe or was less the advocate, brother, friend, less the son, father, husband, or person of faith than I should have been. It would have been interesting, and it would certainly place my modest life accomplishments in context. For example, I was introduced as a bilateral lung transplant survivor, but without knowing that I made a nearly catastrophic mistake by delaying my addition to the transplant list to complete a building project for a nonprofit that I once led in Houston. There's very little context. That decision should have cost my wife her husband, my children their father, my family their son and brother. That human story also includes my wife signing a do not resuscitate order only to have the lungs come available because of the bold and unbelievably courageous decision made by the family of one of the victims of the horrific shootings at Virginia Tech in April 2007. You see, context is often very, very important. My wife Ginger and I have 3 children, 10-year-old Brandon and our twin daughters, who will enter this school year as juniors at Bishop LeBlond High School in St. Joseph. As we discuss boyfriends, cars, college, and life after academics, my head swirls with confusion. You see, I remember diapers. I'm not talking to you guys down here right now. I'm talking to all these folks back here in the back right now. I remember diapers. I remember first steps. I remember dropping the girls off for their first day of school and watching them cry, knowing that in just a few minutes the tears would stop and their day would begin. They've cried for 5 minutes. Their parents cried all day. I have no idea how the parents here tonight comprehend what is happening in front of them. I am 46 years old, and my parents are watching this streaming tonight. They're proudly watching their son. And I believe at 46, I can finally tell them, I get it. I really do. Class of 2012, one day I hope you understand how proud your parents are of you at this moment. And for the grandparents, I'm reminded of the old saying that grandchildren are God's gift for not killing your own kids. I know you're very proud as well. So I just wanted to take a moment and congratulate you for your wonderful life accomplishments being celebrated here tonight. Driving up here this evening, I was reminded of the first time I spoke in front of a large group as a nonprofit professional. It was a Lions Club luncheon in the small town of Dickinson, Texas. I had prepared for days, even, nerd alert, even practiced my presentation in front of a mirror. I can't believe I put that in there. I was ready, and then I recalled a moment of panic. I had not asked how much time I had to speak. So upon my arrival, I found the fellow that looked to be in charge. Now, if you're in small town Texas, it's not hard to find the fellow in charge. I gathered myself and went up to ask the gentleman about the time frame of my critically important presentation. Well, if you can imagine small town Texas for a second, this fellow came right out of central casting. I asked him about my time frame, and he looked up from under the rim of his 10-gallon cowboy hat and proclaimed, "Son, speak as long as you want. We're leaving at 1. So keeping that in mind, I promise to keep your last college lecture to the point and brief. But know also that I'm an advocate, and in my personal and professional life, I speak for those with little power and almost no voice in our country. I cannot pass on the opportunity to tell their story. I have many quotes on the wall above my desk in my office at the food bank, and I take time to read them on a daily basis. I'd like to share one in the hopes that I can help provide context for this evening and the opportunities for success in service that lie in front of each of you as you move forward with your lives as part of a greater American community. The quote I'd like to share is a simple commentary and question as relevant today as was in the 19th century. British author Marianne Evans, known by most as George Eliot, once asked, What do we live for, if not to make each other's lives less difficult? Let me say that again, because I want to make sure you caught the power of what was written there. Not lives fantastic, not lives great, not lives full of wealth and power and grand success. What do we live for, if not to make each other's lives less difficult? When I arrived at Second Harvest about a year and a half ago, I dedicated my first month of service to our partners, donors, and exterior stakeholders. I spent time visiting with community leaders and discussing a growing strategic vision for our organization. The second month, April 2011, I dedicated to those we serve. I chose to live on a food stamp budget of $28 a week for the entire month. I spent time in the hunger line, often in poor weather, with families, children, and seniors seeking help just to have something to eat. I came to understand that those I met were not a whole lot different from me. Many were thrust into the hunger line by illness or unemployment. I thought about how close my family came to needing emergency food assistance at the height of the challenges we faced with my illness. Over 60% of the bankruptcies in our country are caused by healthcare costs. How blessed was I that I had an employer that paid me well beyond my sick days, had solid, if not perfect, health insurance, in a family that helped pay bills when the money just wasn't there. I've often asked myself, is that the only real difference? A special employer, quality health insurance, a family to help pay bills? Is that the only difference between me and the folks in the hunger line? Because the children I met were much like my children. Their parents had similar dreams and aspirations for their lives and their children's lives. The grandparents, loving and similar in so many ways to my parents. You see, it's easy to think about, judge, and dismiss the poor, the hungry, or the unemployed when they're labeled and thought of only in the abstract. It's when those in need become human beings, when you understand that our friends feel pain, when you see our neighbors comfort their children and feed them while once again they suffer with nothing, when you see yourself in them and you're truly honest with the blessings in your life. It's then that all the misunderstandings, all the judgments go away. And you begin to understand the biblical story from Matthew chapter 25 of Christ telling those in front of him that a place in heaven had been set aside for them. And this mass of humanity in front of him asks why. Why were they so blessed? Christ answers their question by saying, when I was hungry, you gave me something to eat. When I was thirsty, you brought me something to drink. When I was a stranger, you brought me in, and when I needed clothes, you covered me, and when I was ill, you looked after me. Christ adds, whatever you did for the least of my brothers and sisters, you did for me. There's a great debate in our nation today, and I believe too much of it is based on fear. We're too afraid of a nation, and that's an odd thing. Throughout our country's history, we've always been a bold nation, afraid of very little. And even when facing great difficulty, we met our challenges like slavery, civil war, death of presidents, financial depression, fascism, and communism with great resolve. Yet today we live in fear. Economists and pundits and some seeking public office will tell you to be afraid, to be fearful that you will lose what you have, that the more provided to others, especially the poor, means less for you. And even worse, to vote a certain way or act a certain way or speak a certain way in the public square, and you yourself risk being seen as part of a system designed to take so much from some Americans and give even more to what some call the welfare underclass, until all Americans are poor and exactly alike. Keeping the story of our fellow Americans in the abstract and promoting the fear that more for others can only mean less for you makes it simple to diminish human beings in need and decimate programs like food stamps, despite the fact that over 60% of those receiving food stamps are children and seniors. And that for the first time in the program's history, there are more households with at least one working adult receiving assistance than unemployed households. And even at the end of the day, food stamp programs actually pay for themselves by providing over $9 in economic activity for every $5 worth of assistance spent in a community, supporting jobs and food producers and retailers. The complexity of our economy in the 21st century shatters the myth that having a job in America means you won't face poverty or hunger on a daily basis. But what do we live for, if not to make each other's lives less difficult? As you can imagine, I see things differently. I take my first breath every day with lungs born into another human being's body. I don't have time to entertain fear and false outrage ginned up by others. I work in the social sector, not the private sector of banks and large corporations or the governmental private sector, or public sector. The social sector in America is roughly the size, the economy of the social sector in America is roughly the size of India. It encompasses charitable hospitals, education and faith institutions, as well as human service organizations. In this part of the American economy, more for you doesn't mean less for me. Because more for you or anyone else, if given in the spirit of intimacy unique to this nation and her communities, more for you if given through the caring and loving act of making others' lives less difficult, provides more to the giver than the recipient. More to the life of the community, more for our nation to grow and prosper. What do we live for, if not to make each other's lives less difficult? Class of 2012, I'm sure you have an image in your mind of the pathway to success you wish to take. If that path brings joy and inspiration, I encourage you to embrace it. But I also want to challenge you to be special. You see, success can come and go, but being special in the lives of others lasts forever. Seek to be special, and I promise, whatever your definition of success, it will come true. I'll close my address this evening with a quote from a letter that President John Adams sent to his son, Thomas. President Adams wrote, "Public business, my son, must always be done by somebody. It will be done by somebody or another. If wise men decline it, others will not. If honest men refuse it, others will not." As I look out over the Northwest Missouri University class of 2012, I ask, will the wise among you serve our nation in our communities? Will the honest among you speak for those in desperate need and unable to speak for themselves? Will this class live to make the lives of others less difficult? If not, who will serve? If not, what lies ahead for our communities in this nation we love? Thank you again for this wonderful opportunity to share with you this evening. Congratulations, class of 2012. Enjoy this evening. Rest well. Get up early tomorrow morning and begin changing the world. Begin making the lives of others less difficult. Thank you.
David's a leader. David's a voice. David stands for something, as you can tell. And I encourage you to think about his words, his messages, his context. All very important. Thank you, David, for your remarks again. Candidates for degrees, I know you're getting excited. You want to come up across this stage, get some pictures, and start the hoopla and all that. A few more things to go on here. Please help me welcome the 2012-2013 Student Senate President, Riley Zemer. Riley?
Welcome to your graduation. I'm thankful for being given the opportunity to address you all this evening. I have no clue what emotions you are feeling since I have more than a year till I'll have this same exact experience. Maybe you are anxious to start your careers, or maybe you're nervous to leave your home away from home and start the next chapter in your life. The one thing you should take away, besides your education, is the memories you forged at Northwest. Some of you may remember the TV show, The Wonder Years, and I heard a quote as I was watching the other day that I wanted to share. Memory is a way of holding on to the things you love, the things you are, and the things you never want to lose. I'm sure some of you have been doing some reflecting on your time spent at Northwest. Memories of friendships made, life lessons learned, and the growing pains of adulthood you have experienced. You have seen success at Bearcat Athletics, homecomings come and go, different campus speakers and concerts, and you braved your fair share of Maryville snowstorms. These past couple of years have also taught you the true meaning of responsibility. Responsibility for your actions, your well-being, and also the well-being of others. You have learned to respect individuals that have different views than you and learned to put your trust in total strangers. All of these are key attributes that will help you along the line in your career. At Northwest, you have learned how to handle stress. I'm sure like many of you have been in the library all those long nights during finals week. That can get pretty stressful. You've also experienced the stress of having a job or being involved in different organizations while balancing a heavy class load. At the time, you probably thought how you were ever going to make it through, but congratulations, you made it. As you leave here, remember those who have helped you along the way. Family members have always been there to help you throughout your whole life. They have encouraged you to succeed, and maybe for some of you, they have backed you financially. This day is important to them also. Going back to the quote I said earlier, always hold on to your memories of Northwest. Being a Bearcat is what you love, what you are, and what you should never forget. I wish you all the best of luck in your future endeavors, and always remember, once a Bearcat, always a Bearcat.
I am now honored to introduce Northwest Provost and Chief Academic Officer, Dr. Doug Dunham.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's my privilege to recognize those baccalaureate students graduating with honors. Their names appear in your commencement program beside a single, double, or triple asterisk. Students graduating cum laude are wearing white honors cords. They've earned a grade point average of 3.5 to 3.74, and their names appear beside a single asterisk. Students graduating magna cum laude are wearing green honors cords. They've earned a grade point average of 3.75 to 3.94, and their names appear beside a double asterisk. Students wearing gold honors cords have earned a grade point average of 3.95 to 4.0. Their names appear in the program beside a triple asterisk, and they will graduate summa cum laude. Honors program graduates are noted with a plus symbol. Would all degree candidates graduating with honors please stand, and ladies and gentlemen, join me in applauding these outstanding students. Let me make another brief comment regarding academic regalia. Soon you will see candidates for the master's degree recognized with a collared hood, which is placed over their shoulders in recognition of scholarly achievement. The collars symbolize various academic disciplines. Graduates receiving the education specialist degree wear a light blue cord on their right shoulder and a shield-shaped hood. These show that they have completed a minimum of 64 credit hours of graduate work and education.
Will you please welcome the Dean of the College of Arts and Sciences, Dr. Charles McAdams.
Will the candidates for bachelor's degrees from the College of Arts and Sciences please rise? President Jasinski. These candidates, upon my recommendation and on the recommendation of the faculty and the chairpersons of the Departments of English and Modern Languages, Fine and Performing Arts, Humanities and Social Sciences, Mathematics, Computer Science, and Information Systems, and Natural Sciences, are presented to you for conferral of bachelor's degrees. Will these candidates please come forward?
Victoria Kate Paolillo. Lonnie Eugene Treese. Seth E. Harvey. Elizabeth Marie Tarr. Kelly Emmeline Tinkham. Mitchell Kenneth Downs. Tyler Patrick Hammer. Stephanie Booth. Kyle Donald Caswell. Larissa Joy Keller. Brooke Lee Hapakati. Eric Anthony Galaski. Eric Scott Portner. Curtis Andrew Parsons. Joseph Earl Roy Landrum. Andrea Jean Potter. Andrew Alexander Sanders. Lisa Marie Schilling. Cody James Clemens. Please welcome the Acting Dean of the Melvin D. and Valerie G. Booth College of Business and Professional Studies, Dr. Gregory Haddock.
Will the candidates for the bachelor's degrees from the Melvin D. and Valerie G. Booth College of Business and Professional Studies please rise? President Jasinski. These candidates, upon my recommendation and on the recommendation of the faculty and chairpersons of the Departments of Business, Agricultural Sciences, and Communication and Mass Media, are presented to you for the conferral of bachelor's degrees. Will the candidates please come forward?
Lucas Colby Johnson. Tanya Washam. Morgan Ashley Meyer. Sean Michael Brady. Daniel Stephen Pestock. Yinan Wang. Xinyang Gao. Nash Randall. Ronald Eugene Dietz. Caleb Aaron Schaus. Lisa Crater. Deanna Michelle Rose. Zachary Anthony Layton. Nicholas Blanks. Lisa Ann Marie Matherly. Marissa Joy Allgeier. Diane Elizabeth Dobbins. Michelle Luann McGill. Eric Daniel Meisner. Krista Jolene Townsend. Kira Lane Kessler. Valissa Megan Downing. Danae. Kaylee Danae Scott. Zeke Allen Barnett. Jonathan Daniel Neighbors. Megan Lee Adkisson. Natalie Dawn Gant. Melissa Jane McGarry. Kyle Don Wise. Ryan Patrick Meyer. Christopher Joseph Loporto. Jake Robert Reinders. Amy Elizabeth Cambridge. Elizabeth Ann Fost. Brittany Noel Bowdler. Eliza? Alexandra Geneva Eliza Burge. Taylor Scott Jones. Blake Laramie King. Cody Wayne DeMoss. Megan Lynn Brownfield. Caleb Decius. Please welcome the Dean of the College of Education and Human Services, Dr. Joyce Piverell.
Will the candidates for the bachelor's degree from the College of Education and Human Services please rise? President Jasinski, these candidates, upon my recommendation and on the recommendation of the faculty and chairpersons of the Departments of Professional Education, Family and Consumer Sciences, Health and Human Services, and Behavioral Sciences, are presented to you for the conferral of bachelor's degree. Will the candidates please come forward?
Anthony Terrell Williams. Elliot Missimer. Cody Jean Roof. Haley Rose Maffin. Karen Kepka. Laura Ray Campbell. Samantha K. Klein. Jordan Joe Batten. Sarah Christine O'Keefe. Kyle Edward Mikulich. Melissa Dawn McGinley. Adam Christopher Walls. Kyle Jordan Booth. Garrett Franklin Carver. Jr. Mark Kenneth Harris, Jr. Nicole Elizabeth Falcone. Elizabeth Ann O'Malley. Caitlin Christine Presnell.
We'll pause just for a moment while our degree candidates finish getting their picture taken and return to their seats. Does that work okay? Will the candidates for a bachelor's degree please stand? It's you guys, yeah. By the authority vested in me by the state of Missouri and our Board of Regents, I confer upon you, subject to completion of all requirements as certified by the registrar, the bachelor's degree, and admit you to the fellowship of educated men and women with all its rights, honors, privileges, and obligations. Ladies and gentlemen, please help me congratulate these new graduates as they move their tassels.
Congratulations. Will the candidates for master's degrees please rise? President Jasinski, these candidates, on my recommendation and on the recommendation of the graduate faculty, the college deans, and the graduate dean, are presented to you for conferral of master's degrees. Will the candidates please come forward? Dr. Gregory Haddock, Vice Provost and Dean of the Graduate School, will place academic hoods on the shoulders of these graduates.
Corey Miles. Clint Thomas Coffey. Amaya Sue Brianna Chandler. Shelley Annette Esmahan. Julie Beth Alley. David Todd Scott. Curtis Lynn Siebolt. Elena Brianne Jackson. Jessica May Velder. Jessica Friend. Megan Rochelle Holt. Brooke Lynn Dake. Molly Smith. Jessica Fern Fouts. Alicia K. Clem. Gillespie. Jessica Lee Gillespie. Michelle Marie Nolan. Kevin Lee Postlethwaite. One syllable. Lauren Elizabeth Arns. Taryn Hill. Manasa Chikatla. Teja Pupala. Ramya Pratipati. Prudvi Garipati. Okay, I got that. Sai Svaran Malaparedi. Venkatesh Nala. Venkatesh Nala. Avinash Raja Doda. Reddy. Vinay Reddy Van Kayala. Srikant Kamepali. Najarun Chardermate. Sarah Catherine Johnson. Amanda Sue Boyer. Brandon Michael Matolka. Anne Marie Steens. Shelley Ray Twitchell. Kelly Marie Ross. Chuck Fox. Kelly Renee Lewis Jones. Sarah Elizabeth Canor. Jessica D. Willis. Venkata Krishna Yalalkamudi. Murtuza Syed. Got it. Well, I was hooked on phonics as a child. So.
And will the candidates for master's degree please stand? By the authority vested in me by the state of Missouri and our Board of Regents, I confer upon you, subject to completion of all requirements as certified by the registrar, the master degree. It admits you to the fellowship of educated men and women with all its rights, honors, privileges, and obligations. Ladies and gentlemen, please help me congratulate these new graduates as they move their tassels.
Congratulations. Be seated, please. And will the candidates for Specialist in Education degree please rise? President Jasinski, this candidate, upon my recommendation and on the recommendation of the Department of Educational Leadership, the college deans, and the graduate dean are presented to you for the conferral of the Specialist degree in Education.
Catherine Elizabeth Leiden.
By the authority vested in me by the state of Missouri and the Board of Regents, I confer upon you, subject to completion of all requirements and as certified by the registrar. This doesn't just happen for everybody, folks. The Specialist in Education degree. It admits you to the fellowship of educated men and women with all its rights, honors, privileges, and obligations. Ladies and gentlemen, please help me congratulate Catherine, this new graduate. Sean Wake is a 1992 graduate of Northwest, and he's a member of the Maryville Alumni and Friends chapter. He's a Bearcat. Welcome, Sean, as he brings greetings to you, our newest alumni, on behalf of your Northwest Alumni Association. Sean, welcome.
am honored to stand here this evening and not only say congratulations, but to say welcome. Welcome to the ever-growing Northwest Alumni Association, in which you are now a member. Before I go any farther, I need to tweet something. I can't believe they're letting me speak. Okay. As you may know, my name is Sean Wake. I'm an alumnus of Northwest and a member of the Maryville chapter of the Northwest Alumni Association, and I am very proud to say both. You know, the last time I was up here, I had created an interpretive dance that I asked Dr. Jasinski to perform, and, well, he didn't. So to make it a little easier, tonight I wrote a song that he can sing with a backing vocals from the platform party, and no, guess not. So much for it being a platform party. The Bearcat community is made up of over 70,000 alumni and friends worldwide. The Alumni Association has 19 active chapters which provide networking opportunities, social activities, philanthropic endeavors, and so much more. There are geographic chapters in Maryville, St. Joseph, Kansas City, Mid-Missouri, St. Louis, Springfield, Chicago, Dallas, Southern Iowa, Central Iowa, Eastern Iowa, Western Iowa, which combines with Nebraska, Colorado, Southern California, Arizona, the Twin Cities, and Japan. There are also chapters for band and gridiron alumni. So as you can tell, there is ample opportunity for you to connect, share, and help fellow Bearcats. If nothing else, at least friend us on Facebook. I know you know what Facebook is because it sure makes a good diversion from taking notes in my class. You. As you reflect on your 4 or 5 or 6 or dozen years in college, remember that time pales in comparison to being a Northwest alumnus for life. That's something that no one can take away from you. And as you share this accomplishment by taking pride, make sure all your friends do it as well. Become active in an alumni association chapter. Be proud to show everyone that Northwest isn't just a university, it's a community whose members are there for each other. Quick demonstration of how this works. If you are an alumnus of Northwest, please raise your hand. That includes you guys. Now take a look around and just look at all those job opportunities. If nothing else, you should at least be trading business cards. This is your day. Enjoy it. Don't just tuck it away, but cherish it often and be proud. And never forget, no matter where life may be taking you next, once a Bearcat, always a Bearcat. Congratulations.
Sean Wake will be proud that the Chicago Alumni Association met me at the finish line of a half marathon last week, and we took them out to breakfast and we talked about their times at Northwest Missouri State University. And I got to tell you guys, these alumni associations are very active and they need you, so please do engage. Please allow me to take a moment to thank our color guard, our musicians, faculty marshals, honor marshal, our banner carriers, and our MC, Dr. Brian Lanier, for their participation in making this a very special ceremony for you this evening. Brian, thank you. Phil, good job. Graduates, your tassels have been turned. You are now Northwest alumni, proud members of the Green and White. As Sean said, more than 70,000 members strong, and certainly of this institution's long tradition of excellence. Earning your degree is an accomplishment no one can ever take from you. Your diploma is testament to your decision to live and to work as an educated person. and it shows that you are willing to set and achieve high and worthy goals. On behalf of my wife, Denise, along with all of us at Northwest, let me say how indeed, really deeply, how proud we are of you as Bearcats. Now go forth. Make Northwest proud as you contribute to the communities in which you will participate. Show your friends and neighbors that Northwest changes lives and Northwest graduates change the world. Go lead the Bearcat way. Congratulations.
Our commencement ceremony will conclude with singing the first verse of the Northwest Alma Mater. The words are printed on the back of your program. Graduates, you may return your caps and gowns to Martindale Hall, room 101. Signs are posted to lead you there. Please allow the platform party, faculty, and graduates to recess and then follow. Congratulations to our graduates, and thank you, guests, for coming this evening. Please stand and join in singing the Northwest Alma Mater. Let your voices loudly ringing echo far and near. Songs of praise thy children singing to thy memory dear. Alma mater, alma mater, tender, fair, and true. Grateful ones with love unfailing, all their vows renew. Is this your box?
No, that's yours. That's actually yours, yeah.